So, what is the blackness? What does it feel like? Why do Joe Dispenza's meditations always talk about the blackness? Why is it important? So, I can give you my personal experience with the blackness. And my hope is that it will help you tune into it if you can understand what it is that you're tuning into, and will help you to go deeper in your meditations and just feel more connected to this thing that's called the blackness. So I feel like the word blackness is this kind of a genius neurolinguistic programming NLP word to that can be interpreted in so many different ways. And other words that you could use to describe the same thing, other words that I use to describe the same thing, are quantum field, the void, source, God, space, emptiness. To me, it's all the same thing. And I have just been so astounded by the importance of this and how much further I've gone in my meditation since I have understood this concept. I've been meditating for over 15 years, and I had an awakening 7 or 8 years ago. Shortly after that, I was able to get very clear messages from the spirit realm and talk to people's angels and guides. So all that to say, I've been going really deep in meditation. Like I've been like a power meditator for such a long time. And since I had my awakening, I've just been devoted to my meditation practice. I never miss a day. I always meditate at least an hour. I probably meditate several times a day. I try to get my mind into a meditative state throughout the day. And then I discovered Joe Dispenza and his teachings just this year in January 2024. So it's been like 7 months that I've been studying his work. And I was fortunate enough to find a meditation community and to learn with them and through them. So I didn't just come to it on my own. I joined the meditation group first, discovered that we were going to be doing Joe Dispenza's meditations, and then learned with them. So I feel like I have a special vantage point, and I feel like I my understanding of it is something that can help a lot of people. So okay, so with the blackness, this is an important thing to keep in mind with the blackness. So I'm sure that many of you have heard of how every atom is 99.9999% space. And just the tiniest little fraction, that little 0.00001% that's left is matter. So every atom, everything is made of atoms. Everything in the air is made of atoms. Everything in our three-dimensional existence is made of atoms. And every single one of those atoms is almost all space. So that means that the matter, it is vibrating so quickly and moving so quickly that it appears to be solid. Even if you see, I don't know. I am so not a scientist. Let me say that up front. I'm so not a scientist. I am you know, slightly above average intelligence, um, long-term teacher who just really, really, really loves meditation. And I really love teaching. So I've got that going for me, but I am not a scientist at all. And so to those of you who are more sciencey than I am, I apologize for any of my silliness when I'm trying to explain this stuff. But I'm doing my best. Okay, so it's like the matter is moving so quickly that what we are seeing appears to be solid, and it appears to be made of of dominantly gases and dominantly, all the substances that are all of the elements that are in the known world. But what we're actually looking at is almost all space, like almost all space. So the what we're looking at is an illusion. It is absolutely an illusion. And what is inside of that space is source. It's God. It's the blackness. So you take everything away, everything you see, take away every molecule of air, take away all of the furniture, all of the trees, take away the sky, take away the planets, take away the stars. And what you're left with is nothing but space, nothing but source energy, nothing but the blackness. Okay. Nothing but the void. And what we think we are seeing, it is the veil of illusion. So I feel like that is a really important concept to understand, to be able to grasp tuning in with the blackness. So, so the blackness is energy. All energy carries information. So even though it's technically nothing, information can still travel within this space, can still travel within this blackness. And energy can be sensed. We as humans are blessed with the ability to sense energy. Some of us are better at it than others. I think that children come into the world knowing how to sense energy really, really well. It's just not acknowledged with most of them, and it's not taught with most of them. And so we lose our connection to the energy. But what I always like to refer to is how you can feel someone's vibe, or you can feel the vibe in a room. You can walk into a place and just feel that everybody's nervous and tense. You can walk into a place and just sense people's energy and see that like some sort of argument just happened. We're sensing the energy of our family members, the people that we live with all the time. If you're in a relationship with someone, you could be in a great mood, but when you see them and they're in an awful mood, you instantly feel it. So you are sensing energy. We are all sensitive to energy. So if we can sense the energy, it's something that we can get better at. And in meditation, when we get into this calm, coherent state, we can get really, really good at it. So in my experience, there are three distinct places that you can tune into this blackness really, really well. And I learned this just from following the directions in Dr. Joe's meditations. And I feel like from what I have heard, from the research that I've done and the talks I've heard, I haven't heard it explained in quite this way. And so I really hope that this is helpful for you. Okay, so three places that you can tune into the blackness. First of all, you can tune into the blackness when you go deep inside of your energy fields or your chakras, or not I said energy fields, your energy centers, deep inside of your energy centers. So just deep inside of your body, I feel the chakras on the front side of my spine. So kind of like in the center of my body, but it feels like it's like just kind of floating above the front side of my spine. And so if you just start with the heart, like if you want to do this specifically to try to tune into the blackness on your own without listening to a Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation at the same time, you can just start with the heart, because the heart, from what I've heard it described, that the heart contains an imprint of the entire quantum field. So that like the entire universe and all the other universes, like your heart deep inside of you is an imprint of the entire quantum field. And so when I really tune into this area, it just feels huge. It feels like so, so deep. And so put your attention in the middle of your heart and just imagine that you're going deeper and deeper and deeper into the middle of your heart, all the way into the atoms. And just imagine that your consciousness is as little as one of those little bits of matter that is spinning around in the space in an atom deep, deep inside of your heart. and just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and see what that feels like. So when you go really, really deep and you focus your attention in that way, you'll start to feel this calm and bliss. The further you go in, you will start to feel held and loved. And it is such a beautiful feeling. It's what we're going for when we go into meditation. It's what we're being called towards when we find ourselves lit up by the idea of going as deep in meditation as we can possibly go to. We are being called towards that place. It's the source, it's our home, it's where we came from. It is our true essence. It's who we really are. It's who we really are. So it's so simple. I'm teaching this to my 10-year-old right now. You just put your focus in the middle of your heart. So that's number one. That's the first place that you can feel the blackness. The next place that you can feel the blackness is as far out as you can imagine. Okay, so as far out to your left, as far out to your right, as far above your head as you can imagine, as far below your root chakra as you can imagine. How far can you imagine? So this is something that Dr. Joe directs you to do in his meditations. How far? How far? So you just imagine, what would it feel like if you could go as far out from yourself as you possibly can? And if you keep doing it and keep reaching and just keep going, 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 then you're going to feel that same feeling. You see what I'm saying here? You go out as far as you can, away from this reality, away from yourself, away from everything that you believe that you are. And you're going to feel that same feeling of love and clarity and being held, that same feeling of peace. And he says in his meditations, it's the same energy. It is. It is like he said, it's in you and all around you. It is inside of you and it's all around you. So you can feel it there. The third place, and I think this is really cool. So in his beginning meditations, he does lots of like directing you to like he says, like the back of your tongue, the space between the back of your tongue and the back of your neck, like just random places in your body. He says to feel the space inside of your nostrils. So this is in his early beginning meditations, for the beginners. It's the meditations that are in the intensive and progressive online trainings that you can get at his website. Like, oh, I'm forgetting the names of them right now. I think the generous present moment might direct you to do that. I don't know. I'll remember and I'll write it down for you in the description. So, and I'll also put a link to that training if you're interested in looking into that. Or you just buy a ticket to the retreat and you can get access to it for a few months. And that's what I did. So, and by the way, I am going to a Dr. Joe retreat in like 10 days, my first retreat. And so make sure to subscribe if you want to follow along with me on that. I plan to keep you guys in tune with my journey. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay. So third place that you can feel the blackness. So he says in these meditations to feel inside and then feel the space like right. So it's like the space inside of your body, different spaces inside of your body. And then he directs you to feel the space just outside of your body. So like he directs you to feel inside of your heart. And then he directs you to feel the space just right outside of your heart. And I have found that space, I can feel it right now. I'm very sensitive to energy. Your sensitivity might not be quite where mine is just yet, but I can feel that. I can totally feel that. I'm not touching myself, but your skin can sense temperature. And like when you're a little kid and you can get long distance tickled, like somebody could be behind you and just sort of do that to your back and you can feel it. It's like that. Like we are actually very, very sensitive just outside of our body. So I have found that place just outside of my body, mostly right here, super strong right here, but honestly, anywhere right outside of my body, I have found that to be a really, really potent place to tune into the blackness. In fact, it was when I was tuning into that place that I felt like it was a gateway into the blackness. There are certain times in his meditations where he tells you to dissolve. And when I dissolved, just imagine that my energy, everything that I am, was dissolving into that blackness that I felt right here. I had this mystical experience. It was this amazing feeling that the only way I could describe it is I felt like I was everywhere all at once. Like I was all around the entire earth in every single place all at once. And I've heard it described that the quantum field is like, it's like a brain. Like every part of it is connected to all other parts of it through these streams of energy, the way that your brain is. So I was able to expand my energy to the size of the bigger than the earth just by tuning in to that area. And and it feels the same. Of course, it feels the same. It feels exactly the same as what you feel deep inside of your body and what you feel when you reach out as far as you possibly can. It is the same. And to me, that is more proof that there is a God. It's more proof, it is more convincing proof to me than there ever has been before. Because for me, it's more than there ever has been before. Because if everyone in my meditation group, these lovely people that I've been meditating with for the last few months, I'll link the website that if you want to look into it, I'll link the website to join the community in the description. But if I can have that experience and I can feel that and I can explain it to the people that I'm meditating with, and and if they can all feel it and they're all over the world with totally different, they're all so different. Like there are some in Romania, there's some in the UK, there's some in Japan, there's a guy who lives in Afghanistan, there are people from Iran, there are people from India. They're all different socioeconomic backgrounds, all different religions, all different races from all over the world, all different ages. I think the youngest ones in her 20s, the oldest ones in her 80s. And and they all experience the same thing just by tuning into what's inside of them, by tuning into what's around them, by reaching out as far as they can possibly reach. They all tune into the same thing. And that is like a miracle to me. I absolutely love it. So, what is your experience with tuning into the blackness? What does it feel like to you? And if you are watching this all the way to the end, that means you liked it. So, please like this video. Please subscribe if you want to follow along with me with my adventures at the retreat. Please share and support this channel and bring more of your friends. Thank you. Thanks so much for being here.